Hey guys, it's Michael. I have a quick update for you on the second stimulus package. Unemployment data was just released earlier this morning, and it was much better than people were expecting. This caused a lot of people to be worried that we would not get a second stimulus package. However, just a couple of hours later, Donald Trump came out and spoke about a second stimulus package, and we have great news there. So in today's video, I'm going to go over the unemployment data and what is going on there, and then after that, I'm going to get into what President Trump said and the great news with the second stimulus package. But before we get into it, I want to remind you guys that we're doing a $50 free stock giveaway. All you need to do to enter is like the video down below, be subscribed to my channel, and comment down below your 3 favorite stocks. I'm going to pick one winner and I'm going to announce it in one of my videos tomorrow. But if you don't want to wait until tomorrow, you could go ahead and get 2 free stocks today when you sign up for the Webull investing app using the link down below. So let's get right into it, and let's first go over the data in the unemployment report. The federal unemployment rate declined to 13.3% in the May unemployment and jobs report, down from 14.7% in April. This is shocking because a lot of people and economists were projecting that the unemployment rate would be 20 to 25% in May. So for it to go down, it shocked a lot of people when this report was announced earlier this morning. This is seen as a sign that the economy is recovering more quickly than projected. The economy gained 2.5 million jobs in May as many states and counties began to reopen and the economy started to open back up again. An economist at Brookings Institute, he said that the idea that you would see job gains and unemployment rates falling this early on is not something that anyone had really been expecting. It's not what anyone was anticipating. He goes on to say how it is important to keep in mind that while the unemployment rate did decrease and now it is at 13.3%, it is important to keep in mind that this rate is still higher than any rate we had seen during the Great Recession in 2008 and 2009. The highest rate we had seen during that time period was in the 10% range. So while it does seem like things are already getting better, well, right now we are still worse than the worst point during the Great Recession. So he says that while the unemployment rate has decreased and things have gotten better this month, that you're going to need a lot of months of gains in order to get back to the level and the kind of job totals we had before the virus started. He said we are still a long ways away. So while a lot of people think this is good, we're nowhere close to being back to levels we were previously at. In addition to this, there's a very specific aspect of the unemployment report that a lot of people are missing out, but is very important. And one thing to point out on the unemployment report was that a substantial portion of the job gains in May, about 2/5 of them, 40%, were driven by part-time jobs. And that's an indication of how fragile the economy still is and how long the recovery could take. Because while there were a lot of job gains, 40% of them were only part-time jobs. Ultimately, economists agree that getting back to normal life will take longer and be more challenging than any recession we have ever seen in the past, because no job losses we had ever seen in the past was like this. We had never seen this dramatic of a decrease and this just dramatic of an unemployment rate ever in the past. And based on these reports from economists saying how it's going to be very challenging, many economists and congressional Democrats still say that additional government funding is urgently needed to avert any economic downturn, with trillions in new spending expected to expire in the coming months. It goes on to say how millions of Americans are still out of work. Over 40 million Americans are still out of work, and the department remains focused getting Americans safely back to work and help deliver support that the Americans need. So this is good news that economists and congressional Democrats are saying how we still need more stimulus. Even though this report looked good, we still need more stimulus. And this, coupled with what Donald Trump said, which I'll go over later, really is good news for more stimulus payments. So finally, before we get into that, I just want to go over that the CBO, the Congressional Budget Office, they project unemployment levels to continue to be at 10% or more into 2021. That means that while the economy is going to start to recover within the next year and into 2021, we are still going to see unemployment levels worse than the worst point during the Great Recession. So if you think about it, during the worst point in the Great Recession, they passed stimulus packages. So while we are recovering, we are still at a point that is worse than during any point during the Great Recession, which lends the fact that we should see more stimulus checks. Now let's get into what President Trump said in an interview just a couple of hours after this unemployment data was released. So a lot of people were worried because they thought Trump was going to say, we don't need more stimulus. See, the economy is doing so well. But this is not what he said at all, and this was surprising. He suggested that the worst of the economic pain caused by the virus was far behind us. Trump said that the economy was roaring back to life now that some workers were able to return to work after large parts of the economy had shut down in March and April. He said in quotes that we've been talking about a V. A V is wonderful, but this is better than a V. This is a rocket ship. This is outstanding what happened today. He posted on Twitter how this was amazing and how this unemployment report was really, really good. So at the beginning of the interview, President Trump was just talking about the unemployment report and how great it was. And we'll get into the stimulus in a little bit. But many economists warn that the jobs report could just be a reflection of all of the stimulus and relief that was spent by the government in late March and in April. They say that all of this money is finally being spent. The $1,200 stimulus check that people received was being spent and being put into the economy. The $600 additional unemployment benefits was also being spent. And this could be why we saw this increase in jobs and this positive unemployment report. So they said, it's something to keep in mind because it may not be that the economy is starting to recover and is as strong as it looks on paper, because it could just be the over $3 trillion that the government has already spent. So I said this as a reminder because the $600 per week enhanced unemployment benefits is set to expire on July 31st. So once this ends, and if we don't get more stimulus, they're saying, well, the economy might go back to what it was. It may not be as good. So right now we just have to keep an eye out for that, because all of these numbers and these positive reports could just be because of the trillions of dollars that were spent. But now the good news with the second stimulus package is with what Donald Trump had to say. And earlier today, Trump said that the White House will be asking Congress for additional stimulus money. He said despite the numbers and how good they are and how good the unemployment report looked, he said since there are low interest rates and it's essentially very cheap for the government to borrow money, he said that they are going to be looking for additional stimulus money. That is exactly what he said. He said we will be going for a payroll tax cut, and it's going to be a tremendous incentive for businesses. We will also be asking for additional stimulus money. So he focused and he mentioned quite a few times that they are going to be focusing on a payroll tax cut. And then the other part of this is that he said just additional stimulus money. We don't know if this means more direct stimulus checks, but we do know that it means that there's going to be more direct support for the American people. So this is great news. Donald Trump just came out after one of the best unemployment reports in history with over 2.5 million jobs gained, and he said we're still going to be passing another stimulus package. We are still going to get more stimulus money for the American people. And this surprised a lot of people because after a report that was as good as this one for the May unemployment report, a lot of people were expecting Trump to say, well, we don't need more stimulus money because look, the economy is doing so well. But this was not the case at all. And he came out and he said, we are going to be giving additional stimulus money for Americans. So this is great news for us, great news for a second stimulus package. And on top of what President Trump said, how we will be getting additional stimulus money, Ernie Tedeschi, an economist who served in the Obama administration, he said that if we let support expire too soon, we could have a double dip downturn. So he agrees with everything that President Trump just said in this interview. He served under the Obama administration, and for all these people and all these economists supporting more stimulus, President Trump now came out and he said there will be additional stimulus money. House Democrats, they want more stimulus money, and now Republicans, as of yesterday, in the video I went over, we explained how now they're also saying we need more stimulus money. Everything is lined up and pointing towards us getting more stimulus checks, specifically direct stimulus aid. So even though we're seeing unemployment go down and starting to get better, we're going to need more stimulus to help the economy recover, because unemployment is still the lowest it's been since the Great Depression, and we have a long way to go before we will see the economy fully recover. So this is great news for everyone in a second stimulus package. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and the quick update on the unemployment report that came out earlier today and President Trump's interview where he announced great news for a second stimulus package. Anyways, don't forget to get your 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400 when you sign up for the Webull investing app. All you need to do is download the app, deposit $100 into your account, and you'll get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400. Get $5 when you download the Acorns investing app. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like the video down below, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.